So today I'm going to do a little multi-horn comparison. I'd looked on the internet and I noticed that there wasn't a whole lot of multi-horn comparisons out there. There was a fair number of sort of one-on-one horns, one horn versus another. There were a few folks that had tried multiple horns over time with different recordings, but I didn't really see a whole lot of multi-horn, same player, same mouthpiece, same setup, same day, same everything type of deal. So and I happen to, at the moment, have a number of horns here today that I thought would be worthwhile going through them and noodling around a little bit on them and letting folks hear sort of the sound differences of one player playing multiple horns like this. So the horns that I have today are a Buescher top hat and cane, a Coupe Superba II, made by Keilwerth, Yanigasawa 990, the Martin Tenor from the late 40s, a Conn Pan American, much like a 10M, and then finally, of course, a Selmer Mk VI that I have here too. So a good mix of old and newer horns and French and German and American. So we got a whole United Nations of horns here. The mouthpiece that I'm using is an Otto Link Supertone Master 7-star that's been opened to an 8 by Ed Zentera, with a Francois Louis ligature and a Rico Jazz 3M reed. Fairly run-of-the-mill stuff. So yeah. So anyways, a little bit about this horn. As I said, it's a Buescher top hat and cane. It's a little later in the series at 355 XXX. It's got a non-original neck. This is from a later 400, but I've tried it with proper top hat necks. It sounds the same. This one just happens to be silver plated because I thought it looked cool. Yeah, so let's give this one a toot, and then we'll compare some of the other ones. So that's the top hat. Yeah, it's a nice rock and roll horn. Got lots of body to it. Ergonomics are actually quite nice. The Bueschers feel pretty good in the hands, even with the straight tone holes. Action is good. So moving on, next is the Coupe Superba II. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but as I understand it, these are made by Keilwerth, probably made in the late 70s, early 80s, but it's got a sort of a modern feel to the keyboard on it. This particular one's been was restored. Actually, it was I think a Katrina horn from Florida, and it's been delacquered and restored by a friend of mine. Might help if I put the mouthpiece on it. So it's Keilwerth. Also, lots of body to the tone. A little darker than some of the other ones with not as much buzz, but Really kind of gets meaty when you push it. So, nice horn. Okie dokie. Next, we have a Yanigasawa. This is a Yanigasawa 990, which I believe was made in the 90s. So it's a modern horn. Feels a lot like a Selmer in the hands. Feels really nice. This serial number is 00189XXX. And this particular one has the bronze neck from a 992. The original neck had some scuffing on it. I thought this one might be interesting to try. Sounds the same as far as I can tell. Just looks kind of cool, the bronze look to it. So that's the Yanigasawa. As I said, it feels really nice in the hands. Interesting thing with this horn and what I've heard about other Yanigasawa is really easy to play down low, subtone down low. It doesn't have maybe as much overall body as some of the vintage horns, but certainly speaks really well across and very nice and even. All right, next we have the Martin Tenor from, I believe, the late 40s. This one is serial number 155XXX. And this particular one has black kangaroo pads and brass resonators. It's been hopped up a little bit. Really slick action. These the Martins really can be lightly sprung, and they can handle that well. This particular one has a really nice lacquer. It looks great. It's for sale if anyone's interested, but that's not the point of this video. So yeah, let's give her a shot here. So yeah, this horn, really good rock and roll horn. Very projects a lot. Got a lot of bite to it. Really makes you want to abuse it, you know. Nice horn. Next, we have the dark horse in the bunch. This is the Conn Pan American. So if you're not familiar with those, they got a Conn 10M body to them with keywork. This is a stencil horn. So the keywork's a little different. This particular one, check out the engraving, is beautiful, done by Jason Dumar. He and I had a little fun. We call it the Con Artist. The lady on it has a bandit mask, but anyways, it's these horns can be had very inexpensively on eBay, and they have that nice Conn sound. I used to have a 30M. It sounds very similar to this. Obviously different keywork and different value, but same general character. Yeah. Reed was getting a little dry there, so it hard to get down low. Plus, the pads are all torn to heck on this thing. But it's got a real nice kind of gutsy sound to it. Plus, it looks neat with all the engraving. All right. So, last but not least, what everyone compares horns to. This is a Selmer Mk VI. And this particular one is later in the series. It's 219 something or other. So it's a little later in the Mk VI run, but very nice horn. I've compared it to some earlier ones. It's sounds great. Action is good. You know, a lot of people say it's in the setup. But they're all pretty good horns, these Mk VIs, and it has the distinctive Selmer sound. So let's give her a honk here. So yeah, there you have it. That's the Mk VI. So that's all of them, I think. I got them all? Yeah. All right. So anyways, again, sorry for the playing. Looking forward to hearing people's comments, what they hear in the tones of the different horns. Looking forward to hearing any comments that you have aside from my playing sucks. I'll take that, but don't really need to send it in a comment and clutter things up. Really more interested in hearing about any observations that you make about the actual sounds of the horn. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it somewhat useful. Thanks.